Hello, welcome to my second Twisted League update video. The first video being the what we know so far video. This is essentially the part 2 to that, but I won't be covering everything that wasn't covered in part 1. Instead, in the description is a link to the latest uploaded Jagex blog post. And also on Wednesday, November the 13th, the final discussion about the Twisted League will be held live on Twitch during Jagex's Q&A. I've gotten so much love and support from everyone since releasing my masterclass guide. I just want to say thank you all to everyone who's watched, commented, subscribed, and continue to check out my other videos. Thank you all very much. Stick around until the end of this video for some of the biggest tips I think I've ever given on Twisted League. So what have I learned so far about the Twisted League, at least since the last video? Jagex has no plans to prevent ragging in the Twisted League. In a Reddit comment section, Mod Husky said, "I don't believe this is actually going to be an issue because there are no AoE, or area of effect, methods in Zeah outside of Grey Chins, which are far less sustainable than if Ancients were available." So, of course, he is discussing if a player were to rag another player in a multi-combat zone, like the Catacombs. He does not see the so-called ragging lasting very long. However, this does not exactly address how killing Shamans or Sarachnis is supposed to be possible if someone's trying to rag you. When we pressed Mod Husky a little harder in our Discord about the difficulty of killing Shamans or Sarachnis, he still said, and I'm paraphrasing, he didn't see an issue. But that there may also be something they can do as like a hot fix if they find that ragging is a massive issue in the Twisted League. So if you're finding ragging to be a non-stop issue, it would be wise to record it and share it on Twitter feeds or Reddit boards in hopes that it may be addressed in a hotfix. This second bit of information will undoubtedly bring us to a specific conclusion about the Twisted League. While global experience rates may be multiplied by 5 times, that doesn't necessarily mean drop rates will be increased. In fact, we got word they won't be increased at all. Drops like the Sarachnis Cudgel, the Dragon Warhammer, raids items, or even cool items like the Third Age or Ranger Boots will not have a higher drop rate. Mod Husky gave us his long reasoning as to why not, and basically, to sum it all up, he said it could feel very unfair to someone who spent points on a relic for better drop rates if someone who didn't spend those points on higher drop rates still got the drop way sooner. I can agree to that. But what about making all monsters drop double or triple loot? Mod Husky said there is a coding issue there, that essentially with the remaining time left before the Twisted League drops, it would be too difficult to implement properly, having to go through every monster on Zeah and rewrite parts of their code so that not only would they drop multiple loots, but that the loot is randomized in each of the individual drops. He warned otherwise, the player would receive 2 Dragon Warhammers in a single drop. Jagex will be looking at changes like this for future leagues, however, but not the Twisted League. A cool caveat, however, it appears some relics may provide double or triple resources when harvesting, whatever the term harvesting truly applies to. I don't know, farming, woodcutting, fishing, you decide. With all of that being said, the conclusion I personally draw, training combat and rushing raids is going to absolutely suck. Take it from me, someone who has dealt with the standard drop rates for 12 months on Zeah, it's a struggle to get the items you need. However, there may be a caveat that makes high combat and rushing raids possible. While it may not be confirmed, this has been alluded to enough times for me to chalk it up as confirmed, at least in my book. There will almost certainly be a relic or tier upgrade that boosts your damage output. I don't know by how much, but I'm willing to bet it will be a thing. If we can expect to see damage multipliers, this will make things like Shamans or Sarachnis easier to kill quickly, thus drop rates will increase with kill speeds. Some relics are intentionally designed to speed up completing league tasks, and some relics are meant to work synergistically with others. So be aware of this while on your journey. I inquired about the potential for someone to buy blood runes from the Archaeus General Store. For someone who chooses Dark Altar Devotion, let's say, lacking run energy may make it a wise choice to skip rune crafting altogether, and just buy your own blood runes. However, as an Iron Man, you can't buy when the item is overstocked. I mentioned this to Mod Husky, and he said he will make a change where certain items will instantly revert to their original stock when the shop is reopened for that user. For instance, another player in our Discord said he could potentially abuse this by selling a few blood runes, closing the shop interface, reopening, and selling a few more for a higher price due to the refreshed stock quantity. Mod Husky confirmed this would be the case. He went on to say there will be about 40 items which will be set automatically to refresh in shops when you close the shop interface, including basic tools in general shops like spades, pestle and mortar, etc. The official number of tasks is 495, and there will be an official webpage that shows who was the first to complete specific tasks, as well as a Twisted League leaderboard which can be viewed. As many of you already know, JMods tell us all tasks will be completable, but nobody will complete them all. How relics and tiers work. This has not been confirmed until now, and it should help you to finalize your strategy. So many have wondered if picking a starting relic will lock you into a specific progress path, like when picking a relic which helps with skilling, and if picking that relic means you will only be able to pick skilling related relics in the future. I asked Mod Husky if we would be locked into a path. He said no. Picking a relic does not change the options that I have at my next selection, and so this means we can assume quite a few very big things. This is where our discussion gets interesting. Mod Husky's last tip allows us to understand. Picking a relic adjusts the way each starting relic will affect the playstyle of your account from early, mid, and even late gameplay. I want you all to sit back and think about how each starting relic can influence your account, because like Mod Husky says, you may have to look deeper to figure out why some of them are better than others in certain situations. Some of them may be more beneficial long term. With that being said, let's dive into some of the foreseeable pros and cons of each starting relic. I really don't want to discuss any unforeseeable pros and cons. Those will be up to you to decide on day of release. The Abyssal Accumulator. Pros. The Abyssal Accumulator will save 85% of your used runes and arrows. That goes for all spells. This can be utilized in early game Slayer, saving you a lot of money on runes and a lot of time on smithing and fletching arrows. As far as mid game goes, the benefit still applies, but the money is not as difficult to come by. Late game is where we could see the significance of this relic. Saving 85% of your runes means you could likely just buy blood runes from the Arceus General Store, and with the money gained from Slayer, it will be affordable. 85% more affordable to be exact. Making runecrafting a skill you will likely not need before being raids ready. Runecrafting will likely take about 12 hours from 1 to 77 just to begin making the blood runes, and without 73 agility, making the blood runes will be extremely slow. So let's also add that you won't need high agility levels either, which can also be a very large grind. With 5 times XP rates, the agility grind clocks in around 10 hours of 3-tick fishing to 60 agility, or 20 to 22 hours fishing normally, or catching and then dropping your fish. Plus another 6 hours of Wintertod Pillar agility just for 73 agility. Essentially, choosing the Abyssal Accumulator can shave about 16 to 28 hours off your agility grind, and another 12 plus hours off your runecrafting grind, making you raid ready roughly 30 to 42 hours sooner if you choose it. The cons? Well, the cons are not so obvious, and I'm not sure if I really know them that well, but without all the fishing, agility, and runecrafting XP and levels, it is likely you'll unlock far less league points or relic points with this strategy. Endless Endurance. The pros. Endless Turrets appears to be the fan favorite. Giving unlimited energy and now a 4 times hit points regeneration rate, Endless Endurance will be essential for anyone planning to do skilling like farming, runecrafting, quests, mini quests, and even helps with gaining favor. Players will immediately feel the effects of Endless Endurance upon selecting it, noticing a major buff to their gameplay right up front. As far as mid-tier content goes, the hit points regeneration will be nice for things like Slayer, helping to extend your trips. When this relic is used with the prayer Rapid Restore, the player can expect hit points regeneration rates to be buffed up to 8 times, healing 8 hit points per minute, which can be a major buff for any mid-level player. During late game content, the Endless Run energy may only be handy for doing farm runs and for solo raid runs. Since stamina potions are extremely difficult to come by on Zeah, only able to be gotten from having a clean Torstal herb in your inventory when the Jekyll random event shows up, note, cleaning the Torstal also requires 85 herb lore, so the only way you'll be able to successfully solo Ohm will likely be with Endless Endurance. It's also important to note the creation of a regen bracelet, and with Rapid Restore turned on, health regeneration rates climb to an insane 16 times, giving you 16 hit points restored per minute. This can be major for any high-level boss battle, or even just normal Slayer tasks. The cons? If you see this as a con, picking this tier will also make it likely that you must take on the previously specified 30 to 42 hour agility and runecrafting grind, depending on if 3-tick fishing is used, before being ready for raids. You will also be spending much of your money on things like feathers, unfinished broad bolts, and even some runes at earlier levels without the Abyssal Accumulator. Please note, there are still many other things you can spend money on to accelerate your late game progress, like raw fish from Frankie's, etc. These expenses will likely apply no matter which starting relic you choose. Dark Altar Devotion. Pros. Finally, Dark Altar Devotion appears to be the fans' least favorite relic, and I do understand why, but let me try to explain some of the major buffs this relic can provide. This relic will likely be picked by those planning to rush into combat. In early game, you will notice very fast and easy prayer XP, along with reduced prayer drain rate, quickly making you an actual DPS fiend and a tank at the same time. A cool little perk already in the game is what makes this relic really stand out. First, let's discuss changes to Konar's task list in order to really see the potential this relic can offer. Even if Konar's task list doesn't change, she has several assignments that will often be in the catacombs. But after her task list is adjusted, I personally assume she will grant even more tasks in the catacombs, making Dark Altar Devotion really stand out with the auto bone bury perk and the effect of burying bones in the catacombs. With the slower prayer drain rates and receiving restored prayer points from auto buried bones in the catacombs, this will surely keep you blasting away on your Slayer assignment. This perk combo should not be overlooked. But if this isn't enough of an eye catcher, let me iterate from my own personal experience on Zeah. Prayer potions are not easy to come by. You can go through a couple hundred pretty quickly when attempting to get a specific drop. For instance, when killing Arachnis at low combat, and with minimal gear, you can easily go through 3 to 5 prayer potions per kill. With half prayer drain rate, this can be reduced to half. Without prayer potions, killing things like Arachnis for the cudgel is just not possible, and killing things like shamans for the warhammer becomes a total nightmare. Cons. This relic may not be super beneficial in a raid, and it also means you will likely have to do the fishing and agility grind, and do the 77 runecrafting grind completely without unlimited run energy, making your time to 77 runecrafting even slower than the expected 12-hour grind. Again, the expected hourly rate for 73 agility and 77 runecrafting with endless endurance is right around 30 to 42 hours, 30 if 3-tick fishing is used, but add a couple more hours because you won't have any run energy for the 12-hour runecrafting grind. Also, you will be spending money on ranging supplies and early level runes for magic training, the same as you would for endless endurance. I won't give my opinion on the best relic to pick, only you can decide which one will best suit the way you want to play. Hopefully though, after hearing my quick description of the foreseen pros and cons of each, you'll have a more educated guess when picking your starting relic. In my Twisted League Masterclass guide, I pinned a comment that said, whoever finds the hidden dating site reference wins a prize. Well, Nathan Payne won that prize, and I want to thank him for paying absolute attention through to the near end. I also want to thank everyone who watched and commented, everyone who subscribed after seeing the guide. It really does mean a lot to me. I now have over 300 subscribers, and our little channel is starting to take off. If you want to see any more of this kind of content, I will be releasing weekly Twisted League videos until it finishes. For those of you interested in my original Zeah series, fear not. I have been working like a dog for the last month just to have 4 episodes ready for release during the 2-month-long Twisted League. Also, I will be streaming my progress on the Twisted League on Twitch if you want to check me out there. Let me know in the comment sections which relic you guys are going to choose and why. I'm sure there's several more reasons, perhaps even better than the ones I've listed, to pick or not to pick a certain relic. So as always, thanks for watching guys, and happy scaping.